Hello, my friend. I am so excited to dive into this week's podcast episode for you on this week's astrology. Oh my goodness. This is gonna be quite a week. We have the new moon in Taurus happening this week, and it's gonna be an intense one. I want to give you a heads up on that. So, in this week's episode, I'll be diving deep into this new moon in Taurus chart for you. I will also be sharing how I got monetized on YouTube in 4 months after setting that intention in December using astrology. I will then end off this podcast episode with a tarot reading of what energy to embrace, what energy to let go of. So let's just dive right into it. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe because it really does help me out. Okay, so this week we have the first week of Taurus season. This week, Mars is in Leo. This is beautiful. This is energizing. And a lot of the energy this week, however, is leading up to a T-square. I spoke about this last week, yet we're going to feel a lot of intense emotions come up this week. I'm so sorry to say. Yet, being prepared for this and using this to your advantage is going to be key for this week. Now, I'm going to first give a good overview of the transits of this week, but I'm going to talk more about these transits in the new moon in Taurus chart for you. So on April 21st, we have the Sun in Taurus square Mars in Leo. This feels very uncomfortable. Gonna give you a heads up on that. Then on April 23rd, we have the Sun in Taurus square Pluto in Aquarius, which then leads up to this T-square happening in the sky. Then on April 25th, we have Venus conjunct Saturn in Pisces. On April 27th, we have Mars in Leo opposing Pluto in Aquarius. And then on April 27th, we have this new moon in Taurus. So this new moon in Taurus is a bit of an emotional, intense new beginning for you. Now this new moon is happening at 8 degrees of Taurus, rounded up. It's happening at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the reason why this new moon is a bit more emotional is because we have a lot of tense transits this week. You're going to feel this buildup of, I need to change something in my life. Looking at this chart, there could be someone who's a bit more manipulative that you're kind of understanding a bit more about who this is and why they're acting out in a certain way. Secrets are going to be revealed at this time. I'm saying this because in this new moon in Taurus chart, we have Mars in Leo opposing Pluto in Aquarius. So this is bringing up some very intense emotions, especially around control, manipulation, secrets. If someone in authority could be doing this, may this be our government, may this be someone at work, this could look like a bunch of different things. However, this energy, I just want you to be aware of this because we're all experiencing this in a unique way based on your birth chart. Now, I still do love this new moon, don't get me wrong, because although the ruler of this new moon is Venus in Pisces, conjunct Saturn in Pisces, this feels a little bit more intense. This feels a bit more like we're being strict with our finances, with our intentions when it comes to our relationships, our love life. However, this is us really tuning into our values of what is stable and grounded for you long term. What does this look like? This could also look like being rewarded for some hard work you've been doing when it comes to your finances, when it comes to the relationships you've built. This looks like a very strong spiritual connection. May this be through a therapist, an astrologer, a tarot reader, or someone you just feel like you have a soul connection with. However, I really see this illustrated as a mentor of some kind. Now, with the new moon in Taurus, we are getting this new beginning when it comes to our finances, self-worth, self-value, and what we physically own. Taurus wants to remind us of the physical world. How are you staying grounded in your everyday life? What are you doing to ground yourself every day? May this be through meditation, journaling, enjoying your meal, enjoying earthly pleasures. What does this look like to you? This new beginning for you is a powerful one of change. And Taurus is, I would say, the zodiac sign that resists change the most. This is because Taurus is a fixed earth sign. Yet what's interesting is because we've had Uranus in Taurus for quite a few years, we've had sudden changes when it comes to the earthly plane that we live in. We've seen sudden changes when it comes to our finances, inflation, the stock market. I really see this with Uranus and Taurus showing us that what we perceive in the physical world as stable and grounded doesn't necessarily mean that it is stable and grounded. Now, with the Sun in Taurus in a square to Mars in Leo, with this new moon chart, and throughout this entire week, we're feeling this energy. This is us at an odds with something we need to take action on. We're finally getting this momentum with Mars back in Leo of bold action, of creative action. We're getting this burst of energy. Yet, because of this square, it's uncomfortable. You might have to do something different that you're not used to. This could feel like someone is challenging us in some way. May this be who we are, our ego, our finances, our identity. However, this could also look like you're trying to take action towards your goals, towards your creative pursuits, yet you're feeling at odds when it comes to how you emotionally feel about the situation and how you see yourself. So there is this dynamic at play where you know what action steps you need to take, yet you still haven't seen this in terms of how you see yourself, in terms of your identity. So this is kind of a fake it till you make it type of energy. And because we have this T-square happening between Mars, Pluto, the Sun, and Moon, this looks like a pressure cooker where you could just feel this pressure to change something when it comes to your finances, your self-worth, your self-value, how you see yourself, what you physically own. You could declutter your space during this time. You could also just feel this pressure of, I need to take action right away. I need to change something in my life right now. Realizing, okay, maybe you've been holding yourself back based on the limiting beliefs you have. Or you could feel pressured by a group of friends. You could feel pressured by society, your government, something that makes you feel very, very uncomfortable to change something when it comes to who you are and how you emotionally feel. There is this uncomfortable tension here. So I want to point this out. This can feel emotional, okay? The release point for this full moon is Scorpio. So this means wherever Scorpio is in your chart, this is where things could be revealed. And we still have some lovely support with this new moon in Taurus. We have Venus, the ruler of this new moon, in a sextile to Uranus in Taurus. So this can bring up some lovely surprises when it comes to our finances, food, art, creative expression, self-worth, and self-value. This feels as though we're getting a breakthrough around our money mindset. This could also look like us getting a breakthrough around how you are treating yourself. How are you talking to yourself? What does this look like? And how has this been affecting the money you earn? How has this been affecting what you physically own? How has this been affecting the material world in front of you? Now, Uranus is still in this sextile to the North Node in Pisces at this time. So you could be getting some breakthroughs around your life path right now, around how you are emotionally taking care of yourself, what is helping you emotionally regulate, what does this look like, how are you being in touch with your spirituality, and this can feel really exciting. You can just feel like you're getting sudden insights or spiritual downloads. This can be really, really heightened this week. This could also really help you understand your next steps forward. Now, what I also love about this new moon chart, this won't be exact this week. However, we have Jupiter in Gemini in a sextile to Chiron in Aries. So, what's also supporting us with this intense energy this week is our relationship to our friends and siblings. You could just feel a bit more uplifted by your conversations this week. You can feel like they're very healing. You could feel very seen by certain friends. You could feel as though you are seeing how worthy you are around your relationships. They're really supporting you with your goals, with your desires, or you could just feel like you have this support that is very nourishing for you. This feels very healing. So no major planets are retrograde in this chart. So we're going to see so much more forward momentum this week. We're going to see exactly what you need to change so that you can take the next steps towards your goals, so that you can really see things come together. It's going to feel really, really exciting. I will say the negative of Mars in Leo, especially because it's opposing Pluto in Aquarius, is people can have inflated egos, people could be more cocky, you could just feel like someone is being manipulative, very dramatic as well during this new moon. Now, the way to use this energy to your advantage is to really tune in to the Scorpio area of your chart. Understand where that's happening in your chart so that you can focus on what is coming together. What do you need to focus on? That is because it's a release point, because we have that T square happening in fixed signs between Mars in Leo, Pluto in Aquarius, and then this new moon in Taurus. So, with this, we're being called to change something when it comes to how we've been stubborn. How have you been limiting yourself based on your routines, based on your mindset? What does this look like? And this is the week to change that for you. It's so powerful. This is also a really good week to make art, to use this intensity and express it, right? Put it out of your body, dance it out, make art, manifest money. That's also a great thing to do with this new moon in Taurus. Clear your space, redecorate, do things that really nourish you, and really enjoy and be present in the moment. If you want to use this new moon to your advantage, come join me in the Moon Sign Creative community for a money manifestation ritual. It's going to be so much fun. I am so excited. Everyone in the community is so supportive, so sweet, so kind, so empathetic. We're going to also be going through how this new moon is impacting your chart specifically. Replays are available. It's going to be so much fun, and I can't wait to call in more abundance with you. All right, so I want to dive into the topic for this week on how I got monetized on YouTube in 4 months. I am very, very excited for this. I made a podcast episode setting this intention months ago, and I have met my goal. So I'm very, very grateful for this. And I want to take you through this process because I specifically used astrology for this to happen. This is why astrology is so powerful, because I am still mind blown that I got monetized the second Mars moved back into Leo. And the thing is, I want to give some context to this situation because technically I've been on YouTube since January 2020. So it's been over 5 years. So I want to give that context. And yes, the title can be a little bit misleading in that sense, yet I really wasn't super, super serious about YouTube in 2024, 2023, I was back in 2020 when I first launched my YouTube channel. And when I look back at this, I'm starting to understand why I had to put in so much work around this. I just didn't believe it was possible for me. And it was such a hard process where I was making videos, and I actually had this goal for quite a few years. I think I had this goal since high school, yet, if you know me, I have Chiron in Leo. So I have this deep fear of being seen that I had to overcome. I no longer have this fear. You can see me on my podcast, on YouTube. And what's interesting is it took me a long time to overcome this fear. Sometimes you don't need all this time. I want to first state that. Sometimes you don't need years to accomplish a goal. So I've been on YouTube since January 2020. And when I look back, I was a completely different person. You can go back to those old videos and you cannot recognize my energy. My energy is completely different. Some of my friends are so shocked by how different I am, and it is mind-blowing to me. It's still mind-blowing to me because I don't even recognize that person. I love her, yet I can see the change in my energy, how confident I feel now when it comes to creating videos, when it comes to recording podcast episodes. Yes, I still have a lot of help with my editor editing this video, so I'm really grateful for her. Yet it's interesting because it took me a lot of time, and I feel like I could have gotten to my goal a lot faster if it wasn't for my limiting beliefs and it wasn't for my mindset around this. Now, in December, when Mars went retrograde on December 6th, 2024, that is when I set the intention. That is when I planted the seed that I was going to get monetized this year in 2025. And when I was timing things out, when I was logistically trying to understand if it was possible, how this looks like, I was trying to figure out what can I do? How can I be strategic with my energy? And what would actually benefit me long term? So for myself, I had the goal of getting monetized in 3 to 4 months. And honestly, my 2025 horoscopes really helped with that. I also wanted to funnel people from my Instagram and my TikTok onto my YouTube page because I'm still getting used to YouTube. I'm still trying to figure out the best methods of getting seen on YouTube, of going viral on YouTube. And I did hit a viral video in the last few weeks, so I will share about that. Yet, for me, setting that intention with Mars going retrograde, in my head, I knew that when Mars went direct, that is when I was going to see the results. I honestly was a bit impatient, so I didn't want to state this, and I really wanted it to happen sooner because, I was putting in a lot of work towards this monetization. I was putting in a lot of work with videos, and I was super strategic with the content I shared, but also, for example, I made this huge change of having a video podcast instead of my audio podcast. That helped so much because I could see people were still listening to my podcast on YouTube. Yet, based on the numbers, I do see that people prefer the video podcast over the audio podcast. So I knew that was the next step. In my head, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so much work. How am I going to do this? And I had to really overcome these limiting beliefs. I really had to talk myself through that I was ready to dedicate my podcast to being a video podcast. I had to set that intention. I had to become more serious. And I had to really understand that this was going to help me so much moving forward on YouTube, right? And the thing is, I want to state this, when you have a goal in mind, most of the time you know what to do. Most of the time you have an inkling that you know what to do, but you're talking yourself out of it. Okay, I want to state this because I've been in this battle with myself of knowing what I had to do for years, right? I knew I needed to record a video podcast, yet I was like, this is so much energy. I don't have the energy. I was making excuses, and you have to let go of these excuses, okay? You just have to let this go. When you actually want something, when you're actually serious about something, you need to take action on it, right? I'm not saying to overwork yourself. Do not hustle your way into a goal. Do not do that. But you still have to put in the work, right? And when it's something that's aligned for you, when it's something you enjoy, it's going to feel so much easier. It will. So for me, understanding that I could get monetized by using the Mars retrograde to my advantage, because first off, Mars retrogrades are a time to go back to something you once started. I had kind of let go of YouTube. I was still uploading randomly from time to time in 2024. I was still uploading randomly in 2023. It was more scarce. I was a lot more serious and dedicated in 2020. Yet, when I wasn't seeing the results I wanted, I kind of gave up. Not completely, but I was trying to prioritize what was working the most for me. And the funny thing is, people would still find me on YouTube, and I wasn't posting that much. People were still seeing my videos. That is the great thing about YouTube. If you are an entrepreneur, people will still see your videos because they're searching up what they are looking for. And I was still grateful. I was still getting clients from YouTube. I want to state that. Yet for me, I had this realization that the most fun way for me to get paid was through YouTube, was for me to make videos and get paid for my videos and have people watch my horoscopes. And I think that would be so fun, right? Like, I just felt like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. As a Leo sun, this is what I'm meant to be doing. I know this. And this also was this deep, deep calling for me to help more people, right? And my long form content really does help with this. I still love TikTok and everything, but to go deeper into the chart of the new moon, to go deeper into topics around your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, to go deeper into horoscopes on YouTube, I can help more people. And I knew this. I knew this. However, I was trying to figure out how to prioritize this in my life. So that Mars retrograde helped me go back to a previous goal I had set. So think back also what was happening for you during this Mars retrograde in Cancer. Also, Mars retrograde in my 10th house of career, of being seen. And then Mars in Leo is in my 11th house of my community, social media, dreams, goals, ambitions. So it makes so much sense. And this is why using astrology to your advantage in business can help you so immensely. It gave me this belief that it was possible for me. Yes, there was a lot of strategy involved. I also have extended 2025 horoscopes for my VIP members on Substack. I also put a lot of energy and effort into other videos, like my Saturn return video on how to thrive during your Saturn return. I'm going to link that video after this video. Yet I'm so grateful. I'm seeing this reward. I'm so grateful. I'm seeing this benefit of all the hard work I've put into this channel paying off. And, I still haven't made any money on YouTube when I'm recording this. This is the day I'm announcing that I'm monetized, so we'll still see how much money I'm making through ads. Yet, this has been a goal of mine for years, right? I'm still kind of in disbelief. I've been emotional all day. It's been something I've worked towards for so long. This took longer than my undergrad degree because I was in my undergrad for 5 years to kind of take account that I was on YouTube since January 2020. This took longer than that period of time. This took longer than my master's degree in digital media. This took longer than my professor career when I was teaching for 2 years as a design professor. So this took a long time when I think about it in the totality of my YouTube journey. Yet, the most success I've seen has happened in only 4 months, right? So I want to really emphasize that. The most success I've seen has taken place during this Mars return because it's helped me grow my watch hours to approximately 3,000 watch hours. And if you're on YouTube, you know to get monetized, you need 1,000 subscribers and you need 4,000 watch hours. So to get 3,000 watch hours in just a few months, I'm still mind blown by that. I was able to make this happen. I was able to focus and realize, okay, what does my audience want from me? How can I help more people? And those were my free 2025 horoscopes. So if you're an astrologer, here's your idea. Yet for me, I'm just so grateful because it's just mind-blowing that things are falling into place and coming together. And I'm so grateful for astrology to help me through this journey of understanding, okay, this is going to be a huge year for me. And I already knew this because I looked at my solar return charts and I knew 2025 is a huge year for Libra risings. So I did state that in my Libra rising 2025 horoscope. So I hope this story helped you in understanding how to use astrology to your advantage for your business, for your career, because understanding and tracking patterns when it comes to astrology, when it comes to the transits, that is life-changing. It is life-changing. It is such an amazing skill to have. I am also very excited to announce that if you want my support and help in launching your business using astrology, if you currently have a business that is a spiritual creative business and you want astrological support with this, you want help in growing your business on social media and just feeling more stable and grounded in your business, I'm super excited that I am relaunching the Boldest You mentorship program. I already have a few Boldest You mentees, yet I'm opening just a few spots in June. Yet the waitlist is now open, and if you want my support in growing your business using astrology, using brand strategy, I'll leave a link to that down below. I'm super, super excited. I think I'm only gonna open up 3 spots for this to the most aligned people who have a spiritual or wellness or creative business. I'm so excited for this though because my Boldest You mentees are getting phenomenal breakthroughs in their career. They're getting more clients, they're getting more sales, and they're just feeling a lot more secure about posting on social media and seeing how those posts are paying off in terms of increasing their views, in terms of increasing their leads for their business, but doing it in a way that feels authentic to them, doing it in a fun, playful way, doing it in a way that helps them connect to their community and to their audience. So I am so excited for this. Please message me if you have any questions, and let's get into your tarot reading for this week. All right, so the first card out is the Emperor card reverse. So this looks like someone in power is falling. I'm hearing that message very clearly. Someone in power is falling. I got chills, but be aware of this. I would say to not overconsume yourself with news. I know it's been a very intense time. It's still good to stay informed. It's still good to keep fighting for our rights, to start this revolution, yet try not to get overconsumed by this. And also know that if it's someone around you, it's going to be made very clear now. Yet this could also be you not feeling as confident as you would like to at this time. This could also be you trying to figure out, okay, how do I get back into my power? How can I step back into my power? What does this look like? Right? How can I get more motivated? How can I get more disciplined in the work I'm doing, in how I'm leading other people, in how I'm helping other people? This is a week to come back home to yourself. This is a week to see, how have you been holding yourself back? What limiting beliefs do you need to let go of? And how can you step into a more bolder, braver you? I'm really hearing that message. The next card out is the Justice card reverse. So this week, we could feel like something's not fair. We can really feel that. We could feel like we need to let go of a mental story that we're telling ourselves. I see this as the curtain being revealed. You can see on this card, on the Justice card, that there's a curtain behind the Queen. So this is a time where secrets are being revealed. I'm really seeing this with the new moon in Taurus. However, this also looks like you trying to let go of things need to be balanced all the time. You need everything to be balanced. Sometimes things aren't going to be balanced. Sometimes things aren't fair. Yet, you still need to love yourself through this process. You still have to validate how you're feeling and try to see it as, how can you see what is working for you? How can you see how things are actually working to your benefit? How can you have that mindset shift of the universe is always conspiring for your greatest and highest good? It can actually be so much easier than what you're making it to be. I really hear that message. We also got the Two of Cups this week, so I love this card. This is you coming together with a partner in some form. So this could be you coming back home to yourself. This could be you really meeting yourself where you're at and just celebrating how far you've come. But this could also look like you having this interaction with another person and seeing things with love, seeing things with intention, and creating this bond with that person because you both understand where the other person is coming from emotionally. This doesn't necessarily mean a romantic relationship, yet it could be. It could be a romantic relationship, business partnership, or friendship. I also see this as us getting more serious about our health this week. I did pull this card recently, so I do want to give you a heads up on that, but I see this as us really getting back into what would be better for our health. May this be your routine. May this be working out more. May this be having a buddy to work out with or go on a walk with. Whatever this looks like, this looks very nourishing for your soul. Spiritual partnerships are very much highlighted with this new moon in Taurus. So that's going to be a strong focal point for you as well. I love this. I also am hearing this could be about you understanding your past life even more this week in some regard. I'm really seeing this with Venus, Saturn, and the North Node conjunct in the sign of Pisces. So this is you understanding more about yourself so that you know what steps you need to take this lifetime. What does this look like? Really emphasize empathy, compassion, love, grace. This is really highlighted right now. Our challenge this week is the Queen of Pentacles reverse, so you could feel like things are very unstable and grounded this week. Again, I'm so sorry, this week is a bit intense. Really breathe through it, give yourself time, schedule in time for rest this week, schedule in time to just be by yourself, recharge. That's going to be really, really important, but you're going to feel like things are very unstable this week. May this be with your finances, may this be with your values, may this be with your relationships, may this be with moving physical objects. Maybe you feel like you need to declutter something, maybe you feel like you need to really change things up in your external environment, and this can feel kind of difficult this week. Maybe you feel like you need to move, or maybe you feel like you need some time to just reground and center yourself. So I asked what would help us through this, and this card dropped out about 3 times. I do want to state this, but we got the Queen of Swords reverse. So this is a week where you could be overthinking and you need to let that go. Stop doubting yourself. Stop being consumed by your anxiety and thoughts. I know that's easier said than done. I know that. So I'm so sorry. But whatever you can do to clear your mind, may this be meditation, breath work, EFT tapping, journaling, do that. Prioritize that. That's going to be so, so helpful for you. That's going to help you stay grounded. Whatever you can do to stay grounded within your body. I also see this as a perspective shift. So if a challenge comes up for you this week, how can you see it as it's actually helping you? It's actually benefiting you. What do you need to change in terms of the narrative you're telling yourself? We also got be gentle with yourself. I love this card. If you've been hard on yourself, this is a sign. This is a sign to really be more loving and sweet to yourself. Take care of yourself. Give yourself some self-care this week. Try and give yourself some grace. Show yourself some love. Very, very important this week. You could have been really hard on yourself for the timing of things or for anything that's kind of happening this week. So whatever you can do to come back home to yourself and give yourself that love and grace, that is going to feel so good this week. If you currently have a goal in mind, you also got it is within reach. So I'm very excited. It's happening. It's happening. Just know this. Things are coming together. It is within reach. I'm so excited for you. The last card out is deep intuition. So really listen to your inner voice. Listen to what your intuition is trying to tell you. You are much more powerful than you think. You're so intuitive. Listen to that voice. It's going to be so powerful if you do. So I really hope this helped, friend. I really hope it helped. Let me know in the comments down below your big 3, how you're feeling this week. I'm so excited for you, and let me know what's been happening for you. If you'd like a private birth chart reading with me, I am now booking for June. I'm very excited. I'm fully sold out of readings in April, so if you want a private birth chart reading with me, you can now book for June. And if you want to join the Moon Sign Creative community for our new moon in Taurus event, where we're going to be manifesting more money into our life, come join us. Replays are available. And if you want my help with growing your business using astrology, you can apply down below for the Boldest You mentorship program. Get on the wait list before it launches. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see your business thrive. I'm super excited. Thank you so much for watching, friend. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for your support on YouTube. It means the world to me. I am still in shock that I am monetized now. It means so much to me. This has been such an emotional goal of mine, so I can't believe it. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you. I'm sending you so much love. Just remember, the universe has your back, and peace and love. Take care.